Here is the next top that has just been completed, and I may put some borders on. I'm sitting to ponder. I made this block up as I went along basically, so I sort of started with alternate light, dark, light, and then the next one would be, where are we, dark, light, dark, and then put some small ones and then some longer ones. So it's a bit of a variation on the railroad, do you call it railroad block? And we'll just see how this one progresses. It is at the moment just fits on top of my bed, so it may end up with some borders on. Watch this space. This next top is a pattern by Pat Smith, and it's called Winter Carnival. I'll try and get this light out of the way so that you can see how it is and how it's coming together. So I have a little bit more work to do on this one. I have to turn those half-square triangles into hourglass, and it's pretty much ready. Just need to trim up the blocks, trim up the side pieces. There is lots more blocks to go together, and I think I did the twin size, so this will be probably just a quilt that will just go over the couch. Oh, did I do the lap size? I think I did the lap size. So yeah, this is Winter Carnival. This one is by far the most adventurous one that I started, and when I started it I was a beginner, so I've kind of stalled. The reason I stalled was I ran out of scraps because it's totally scrappy. This is another one of Pat Smith's, and it is called Party of Six. Now Pat has a Facebook group which she puts out free blocks, and she calls them member appreciation blocks, and they're totally free. You can purchase the instructions how to put them together, or you can just figure it out from the block itself. She tends to use 5-inch squares in a lot of her work, and some of the blocks are quite complicated. I'll show you my efforts in them shortly. But as you can see, this is quite detailed, and it's got this kind of crisscrossing block in the middle that's going right through this. This is the block here. So I have about, I think, 4 blocks to make, and then it's all, and a few border blocks, and it's all ready to go together. So that's the sort of crisscrossy block. You can see there's another one there, and that's one of the blocks. So you make 3 of each of the 6 blocks to make the pattern, and that's another one. As you can see, I like this scrappy effect, so everything is scrappy. These are all the joining blocks, so they're all scrappy, and then these are the borders which have got that similar flow of the joining blocks. So those are almost, this one's almost complete. I need to push on and get the other 4 blocks done. The blocks are a little bit complicated, and as I say, I started this quilt when I was pretty much new into quilting. It was pretty much the first one that I started to do, and so some of the techniques were a little challenging for me, and I've gone on and learned quite a bit more as I've progressed. I've only been quilting for a couple of years, so this is one of the first ones, as I said, that I put together. So that's Party of 6, and you can purchase that pattern if you wish from Pat's website. Patterns are not very expensive, and have a go. There's lots in the group, there's lots of people showing what they've been doing, and everybody's is different. It was quite encouraging to watch them all develop. So this one does look really nice when it all gets laid out and put together. So watch this space as we come back and I get this one finished. This is a pattern by Teresa Down Under, and the quilt is, as you can see there, Colour Fair Down Under quilt pattern, and it is Quilt As You Go, which is kind of why it's stalled. because I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do a quilt as you go. So far I've made the stars, and I've made these ones. So I've got this block to make and this block to make. I really love my fabrics. This was probably the first quilt where I actually bought the fabrics for this particular quilt. So I need to get on and complete it. So there's the square block, and there is the star block. And the other thing too was I was very new at quilting, so that star block was quite a challenge to get all those points working. And yes, so I think now it's probably 2 years on, I'm much better. This quilt was Donna's mystery quilt, and Donna is the lady that does all my quilting, and that's the pattern that we're heading towards. And so I purchased again the fabric to do this, and I have got halfway through. I have done, there's 2 blocks, 15 of each block, and I've done those blocks, and I'm working on, sorry for going too quickly, I'm working on this block here, So this is the middle part that I've got sorted. So this was one of those, I decided when I started to do this that I didn't really like the mystery quilts idea, in that I like to know where I'm going and what I'm doing, because although it's supposed to be scrappy, I did want to make it not as completely scrappy by having some kind of patterning going on, like the around the center white square. I followed those out with the other jelly. It's made from a jelly roll basically. We've got jelly roll and some yardage. So that's Donna's mystery quilt.